So first of all, I want to apologize for the lighting situation. It's actually getting a little cooler in Florida, so with it comes dreary, cloudy weather. Secondly, I want to apologize if you can hear that lawnmower over there, because I can and it's freaking annoying. Okay, so now that I've apologized twice within, the first 15 seconds of my video, let's get on to my January TBR. The first book that I'm planning to pick up in January is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. This is a book that my mom recommended to me. She recently read it and she was like, I need you to read it because the ending, I can't comprehend it, so I need another brain to tell me what's going on. So that instantly intrigued me. The story is described as a ingeniously twisted nightmare road trip through the fragile psyches of two young lovers. This is me in a book. This is what I want. I meant to read this before 2017 ended, but I didn't get around to it, so I was like, okay, this needs to be your first book of 2018. Remedy that shiz. The next book I'm going to be picking up in January is another adult book, and it is Never Let Me Go by Kazu Ishiguro. I actually ran a poll on Twitter and it was between this and Atonement. I was like, which book do I need to read that's going to destroy my soul? The poll has only been going on for a couple of hours, but I already have like all votes for this book, so I was like, okay, I need to read it. This book's been around for a while. The movie's been around for a while, but for those of you who don't know, it follows a group of kids who attend this very strange boarding school. I mean, it's like a normal school academically and whatnot, but at the end when they graduate, they are going on to just harvest their organs for other people. And it's very weird. It's very science fiction-y. It's very dystopian. It's very creepy. I've seen the movie. I enjoyed the movie, but I feel like there's so much more to the story, and I've been meaning to read this book for years, and I really want to read it in January. So hopefully that will happen. The next book is going to be a reread for me, and it is Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi. This is the second book in the Shatter Me series, and I am rereading it because, as we all know, Release Me is coming out in March. So I want to be prepared. I want to sync my psyche back up into the world. I want to just know all of the things that I need to know before I read the next installment. The next book I'm going to read, I should have mentioned first. Oops. What is it? It's Destroy Me by Tahereh Mafi, which is the novella that you're supposed to read between Shatter Me and Unravel Me. So I'll be reading this first, and then I'll be reading that book. I'm really great with like organization skills, I know. I know that novellas aren't always a must with series, but at least Destroy Me is a definite must for this series. So I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna be trash for Warner, and it's gonna be a good time. The next book I plan to read in January is The Retribution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. I first read The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer years ago. It was before I was part of BookTube, and I just felt like I liked it, but it was marketed as this creepy, scary YA, and you guys know that I love horror, and I wasn't scared. There was creepy moments, but I was like, this is not what I wanted it to be. Having reread it in 2017, I'm not, I'm going into it knowing it's not gonna scare me, but I'm going into it just for the writing and for the story, and it's a good story. It's another book series that makes me have faith in the YA genre. So I'm going to conclude the Mara Dyer trilogy so that I can continue on with the Noah Shaw Chronicle trilogy, whatever they're calling it. Though I have heard that it has been getting very not great reviews, I'm still interested to read it because as of now, I still love Noah Shaw. I know that many people hate him after reading the first book in his series, which is kind of terrifying, but I guess I'm just wanting to do that to myself. So gonna read this. The next book I'm planning to pick up in January is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare and several other authors. This is the novella bind-up of Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter world, which many people have said you need to read before you start the Dark Artifices series. So that's why I put off reading Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows. I waited for this bind-up, and it was released in 2016, and I still haven't read it. But I am going to read this beast this month because I want to read Lady Midnight, I want to read Lord of Shadows, and I want to be prepared for the last one of the trilogy. It has to do with air and water, I think. I don't know. There's the cover though. But yes, I have read The Infernal Devices, I've read The Mortal Instruments, and I've heard that Cassandra Clare's writing and world building abilities has just gotten so much better in this new trilogy. So I'm ready to finally read that. But first I must read this. And I will be buddy reading this with my friend Jacob. I'm actually buddy reading Mara Dyer, this, and Destroy Me and Unravel Me. So Jacob, I'm gonna be texting you a lot, but that's not anything new, is it? The final book that I'm going to be reading in January, I don't have a copy of yet because it's not released, and it is Beneath the Sugar Sky by Seanan McGuire. This is the third book in the Wayward Children series. You guys, I'm so excited for it. I'm living for this. I'm so glad it's coming out in January, the first month of 2018, because I read Every Heart a Doorway and I read Down Among the Sticks and Bones last year and loved them, and I'm so ready to re-enter the world. I'm really tempted to reread the series before reading this because they're such short books, so that could happen possibly. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so excited. Already pre-ordered my copy and I will be waiting. I think it's January 9th. In the comments below, I'd love for you guys to tell me what your first reads of 2018 are gonna be. Was it hard to make this list for you? Because for me, it was hard. It was like, what are gonna be the first books in the new year? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Maybe it's not a big deal to everyone, but it's a big deal to me, so, okay. All right guys, so that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.